My strength coach in high school was really cool. He was a drill sergeant. He also was an ex-bodybuilder. And basically we worked in groups of 5 to even 15 in the gym. And I started there when I was the youngest guy, 12, 13. So as I progressed through the kind of system and ended up in, a junior in high school or senior in high school, I began to lead some of the stuff. I'd take some of the guys through the drills, or I'd show them some of the exercises that we do. And that was kind of my first taste, along with just being, a captain on a basketball team, of being a leader or being a coach type position. When I did drop out of school or stop playing basketball that one year, I went back to my high school because that was the best facility I could get at, and I would just start playing with the current high school team. And that's when my old head coach offered me a coaching position. So those combinations of kind of a team captain in the sport, being an assistant coach at a varsity level basketball team, and then being kind of an assistant in a training group, strength and conditioning with pro athletes, college athletes, and the best high school athletes in my area, I think I maybe found, I guess I would call it my gift or my calling, where I think I'm a good communicator. I think I can portray things well. I think I can take maybe something complex and dumb it down, and I can communicate with a variety of different types of athletes in terms of their mentality and personality. So at that point, I knew I'd always be some kind of teacher. My mom was a teacher for 20 years. My dad coached sports basically his whole adult life. And so that was kind of in me as well. I just took these leadership coaching skills and projected them through powerlifting. My name's Mike Farr. Most people call me Silent Mike. I do a little bit of YouTube, a little bit of content creation, some strength and conditioning, powerlifting coaching, and then I powerlift myself. I've been taking powerlifting pretty serious for maybe around 8 years, but I've been lifting some kind of weights for, 12, 15 years. Played basketball from a really young age. When I reached about 7th or 8th grade, I was pretty much fully grown. I was 5'8" or 5'9", whatever I am right now. And I wanted to play at a high level. I think I was pretty good in terms of skill, pretty good in terms of my mentality and knowing the game, but being 5'8" limits you in the sport of basketball. So I knew pretty early on I had to get faster, get stronger, and get better in every aspect that I could. I had a pretty successful high school basketball career, played 4 years varsity, had some looks at some smaller colleges, but my young egotistic self wanted more attention, and I thought I could play at a higher level than was giving me respect or reaching out to me. So I played a year in junior college, wasn't the best experience ever, ended up quitting, and then went on to train by myself. And I just started doing as much research again as I could to become bigger, stronger, faster. And when you start to research how to jump higher, things of that nature, you pretty much get led to some kind of squat and some kind of deadlift, maybe some kind of overhead press. So that's where I really found what powerlifting was and really fell in love with the process. I love getting better. I love the progress. I love breaking down different aspects, even as I did in 7th and 8th grade when I decided that I needed to start training. Finding your weak point in life, business, relationships, obviously lifting, and then building up on those, making progress is what really drew me. And although I don't compete that often, I don't love competing, I love training, and it's probably something I'll always do.
Fitness coaching. Take you guys to my new gym.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
All the Reeboks.
That was probably like $500, huh?
Dude, those are the boat shoes. The retro. It's from the 90s.
I can wear this when I dunk on you?
That's from the 90s. Look, one's flying out right now. Oh, fuck. They used to live back there, so you'd have to get a jumper. Wasps would come flying out, and you have to get back on D. Run away from the wasps. That's how you practice. That's how you became so good. Oh. Oh! Subaru! Subaru!
Oh, we're gonna go swimming too.
I don't swim.
I grew up in a pretty small family. I guess my extended family is very big, but none of them live near us. So it was just me, my mom, my dad, and my sister. The rest of my family, majority of them's in Ohio on one side and in Argentina on the other. And although I love them, I don't really see them very often at all. So my family's very small. My sister moved away. My dad passed away. So it's basically just me and my mom. And I make it very much so a priority to spend some time with her weekly, if not daily, even if it's just a text. But for sure we have dinner together at least 2 or 3 times a week. I'm lucky enough with my career, whatever it is that I do, content creation, coaching, things of that nature, that I can do it on the road, and often it's better on the road because I can meet new people, I can network, I can train with new people and learn new things. So I'm on the road more than I'm at home. So wherever there's friends, gyms, events that I can go, I try to get my face out there, and I also just try to go and help and have fun. One of my normal destinations is LA. Probably down there, man, every 3 to 6 weeks for a week or 2 sometimes. I've become really close with a lot of the staff at Barbell Brigade, and obviously Barquan and Gio themselves, the owner of Barbell Brigade. But this time it was super cool. I had my homies Nadeem and Evan come up to me. Bart came up last year, and although Sacramento isn't like the most exciting city, it is what I consider home, and I have a lot of pride in it. I love Sacramento. So just to be able to show them around, show them some food, hang out for the day. I whooped up on Nadeem in basketball, let him know what was happening, showed him the car, I showed him some of the roads I got to drive on where I clear my head. We had the best donuts that I think maybe are in the world. And then the next day we flew right back down to LA, which is again what I do every about 6 weeks or so.
Just a tiny upgrade. Because you can do those 2 on the side are gold. Damn, this light's busted too. God damn it, I hate old cars. We'll let this warm up a little bit and we'll give you guys a little show.
It just dies.
It's never had this fat of people in here before.
Of sexy, you mean?
Yeah. 600 pounds of lovin'. Let them know it's real.
I've been a big fan of cars ever since the first Fast and Furious movie. And from that day on, I've also had an obsession with progress, as I mentioned, and working. So I started working whatever job I could do. Me and my friends started companies everywhere. We washed cars, we mowed lawns. And since 5th grade all the way up until junior year of high school, I saved every dime I could, and I bought my first BMW. At the time, it was 10 years old or whatever, but it was a 1996 328. And I worked on that a little bit. I put like just simple things. I'm no mechanic, but recently got back into cars. There's kind of a gap there where I was just trying to figure out life. You know, cars are a little bit like lifting weights, where you kind of have this base model, or you have this base thing. You can maybe buy a cheap one. You can maybe don't have the best genetics or whatever, but everybody can progress. Everybody can build it back up. Everything kind of translates to me. So finally, now that I got a little bit of time, I had a little bit of side cash, and so I bought a 1990 BMW, even older than my first one.
Oh, rinse, engine cleaner, foam brush. Foam. Free soap? Regular soap?
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, foam. Oh, no!
It's that one. Go.
Dude, that's sick. That is so sick.
Hurry.
This thing won't stop soaping. Look at that. We're gonna be so screwed if we run out of water. I guess we drive home. Dude, my God.
Hit your windshield.
Almost.
Hey, just put more soap on it. Fuck it.
The car's a little bit of a money pit, but a lot of fun, a really good hobby. First, I just got to do kind of general maintenance stuff on it. It drives pretty dang well, but there's little dents and some of the fenders and stuff are falling off. So I'm pretty excited to just make it mine. I feel those cars really fit my personality and who I am from the inside and the outside, where they're older, they're kind of classic, they're kind of cool, they're smooth, they're unique, but they're not flashy, but they are flashy. And maybe that's not who I am, but maybe that's who I strive to be. It's not my everyday car. It's got no air conditioning, and in Northern California, it's over 100 degrees almost all summer, but it's something I can drive around on the weekend, roll the windows down, have some fun with. It's an easy way to clear my head. I mentioned in other videos and other times, but I'm pretty introverted. I like to gain my energy alone. I like to be in my head. I'm pretty cerebral. I like to just sit and think about whatever and kind of let my mind run. And that's hard to do in a crowd, obviously. That's even hard to do, I feel like, in a kitchen or a living room or a house. So lifting weights does that for me, being able to just unplug and just let my mind go, as well as driving, as well as sometimes playing basketball.
Cash, get down. Get down. Bad boy. Bad boy. Bad boy. Stop it.
I'll just put the TV up there.
Dude, he's so
Hey.
He's a ninja warrior. Get out of here.
So in high school, I played basketball, obviously, and I was more of like a game controller on the defense and offensive end. I didn't score a lot, and my coach, my dad, even my teammates said, like, Mike, just put up the ball, like shoot more, shoot more. And then I wanted a dog really bad, but we already had one, and my dad wasn't much of an animal guy. He told me, he's like, all right, if you score over 20 points in the next 3 games, we'll get you a dog. Very next game, I went off, scored like 31, and then I got to get my dog. So we have a little dog named Maddie, got her like junior year of high school, I think. It's a Cocker Spaniel poodle. At the time we had a big dog, and so I don't know why I just wanted a little dog, maybe because I never had one. And she's super mellow, super normal, not that intelligent, but like the nicest dog in the world, and she's super chill. When my dad passed away, and then obviously I do a lot of traveling, I wanted to get my mom, and she lives in a fairly big house all by herself. I wanted to get her some kind of a guard dog, and a lot of the guard dogs are very energetic, you know, even like a German Shepherd or something like that. And so, you know, she's getting a little bit older. It's not like she could play with the dog all day. She has to work and she has things to do. So I was trying to find like a breed mixture, something that I thought would work. And we came along what we was told is an English Bulldog and a Labrador. And I was like, that's perfect. Like English Bulldogs are like kind of fat and lazy. They're the power lifters of the dog world. And then a Labrador is like friendly, pretty intelligent, but still like big enough and has a big enough bark to be a little bit of a guard dog. Turns out I have no clue what kind of dog he is. His name's Cassius Clay. He has a really big bark. If you look at him, he's pretty intimidating, but he's just a big sissy. He has a lot of energy, but when he first sees you, he'll look like he'll rip your head off. But as Nadeem and Evan and some of my friends have seen, if you give him one of these, he's just running really scared. So super crazy intelligent dog, nicest dog when you get to know him, but he's got the mean look. And one day I would like to have that. I want to look mean on the outside, be a big teddy bear, but instead I just look like a teddy bear.
The nicest first class seat ever, where it's like, it folds down, right? It's like a vlog.
Camera, I'll show you what camera kid. Look at that stupid thing.
No, I have 3.
And just make it hella awkward.
You a Raiders fan?
Yeah.
Dope, man.
I'll be at the game on Sunday.
That's sick. Yeah.
What's up, my boy? I haven't seen him in so long. Yeah, this is sick, man.
No.
Like I said, one of my normal destinations is LA. Down here it's really cool because these guys are some of my closest friends, and one, they work in my industry, but two, I think we're like-minded beyond what people say. You know, people talk about, we're like-minded, we both like to bench press, we're like-minded, we both like cars. But how our thought process and workflow works is identical, where we can literally be sitting on the couch watching Netflix and then an alarm goes off or whatever, and it's like, hey, content time, like let's get down to work. And we can just grind, working on content, working on projects, talking ideas, whatever it might be, and we can just bang it out, and then we can all go dinner and then again sit on the couch and chill. I don't love Los Angeles, but I love my friends that are down here.
Buddy. Good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
There's Derek.
Nice to meet you.
He's our customer service guy.
Oh, cool.
Marie, have you met Marie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marie, welcome.
How you doing?
Hello.
Busy?
Seeing you again. Shoot.
How's everything?
This is our, I believe it's our secondary, so it means you can tell it's a little different. It's
Yeah.
more, a lot more gender neutral than
primary
primary is that stuff, the more aggressive, kind of like pointed one.
Like
second, it's
like more
literally
power
secondary.
lifter. Like more
it's
power lifter. And then
Nike
the next
has
one's-
the swoosh.
Yeah.
Reebok has this, but then they have the font where it might be in like cursive or whatever.
Yeah. It's a little more like somewhere into the casual or
Pretty much,
lifestyle, like
yeah.
one-
And there's
half
also
of
a tertiary, and that's just, it's even more simple, so we can print and like embroider with it.
Oh yeah.
But this,
They're like dumbed down even.
check this out. But yeah, they're also working on some other secret stuff.
Top secret.
Here's the booth. Here's the rendering for the booth.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Typically when I come down here, him or Nadeem or someone would pick me up. Obviously I flew down with the guys this time, so we had a car. Barbell Brigade has some new clothes in the works, some new apparel, some new rebranding, which, you know, I've worked for many a company and consulted for some companies, and that's just kind of the process of things. Companies want to grow just as much as anything else, and to grow, sometimes you need a little bit of a facelift, a little bit of a tweak. So for them to have kind of layers of branding and messaging really relates to me, where for some reason I find kind of a classic gym vibe from their skull that I could see almost anybody wearing. They portray it in a way that I could see kids' moms wearing it rather than just someone on a Harley Davidson. And that branding and the clothing style, how they've applied it so far, speaks to me, and I really dig it. We got to work pretty much right away, and we went for a photo shoot. It was cool because Evan and I share a liking of some of the street clothes, so he showed me and Nadeem some of his favorite stores in the area, and we did a photo shoot there. I think we grabbed a snack in between, and then we ran over to Bart's house. He just had a little one that is very, very young, so him and Gio are a little bit on lockdown. Because he's on lockdown, he built himself a little mini Barbell Brigade in his garage, and we got a training session in. It's cool to see that Bart, although he's probably not sleeping much at all, he's probably not eating very normal, is still training. So to hang out and hold the baby was cool. To see Gio after you know, life-changing event was pretty cool. And then we grabbed dinner, and that's kind of, like I said before, what we do. We like to work, we gotta get things done. Sometimes it's two birds, one stone, where we're training and we're filming and we're vlogging and we're creating content. And sometimes it's just dinner, training, hanging out, no cameras, all having fun. So again, cameras on, it's content, it's work, but it's still fun. Cameras off, it's still content and work and fun stuff. We're kind of always doing the same thing.
Dude, I'm sure a box jumps.
Dude, you're gonna die.
I just don't want this to like fall.
It's locked, I think.
It's gonna hurt my ass.
Oh, it was easy.
I just broke into it.
Is it more even? Actually, you might be ready?
Yeah. I guess we can do a who wore it better.
Oh my god.
Who wore it better fashion week.
Asians always wear better. Asians always wear better.
You can comment below.
I felt like part of kind of the Barbell Brigade family for a long time. It's been my Southern California home away from home. So to now be kind of a official Barbell Brigade sponsored athlete, other than taking more professional pictures than maybe I did before, everything else is kind of similar, where I believe in their messaging, I believe in the gym itself, I believe in Barkwan and the entire team behind the brand and what they truly stand for, rather than just selling t-shirts. Now already having a real foundation of relationship, let alone that like-mindedness that goes beyond us sharing common hobbies or common likes. We don't just love lifting weights, or all of us, you know, like cars. The fact that our workflow, our lifestyle, our future thoughts of everything is just so cool. I just know the future is crazy exciting, because if all barbells on the earth disappear, no one's lifting weights anymore, me, Nadeem, Evan, and Bart will still go grab the same chicken katsu, sit down and find out what fun stuff we're gonna get into next, whether it's business, hobbies, or the otherwise. And to have relationships like that is something that I kind of wish for everybody. I talk about spreading positivity as much as I can, and one that's a reminder to me, because I can get down in negative. And so if you find someone that can lift you up, real friendships that can lift you up, not people that say just what they think you want to hear. I'm not just telling Bart things to lift his ego or to blow air up his skirt. I'm telling him what I feel, and I know he'll respect that as a friend, as a human, as a businessman, as a lifter himself, and take it in. And he doesn't always have to agree with it, but a real friendship, you don't always agree on everything. You just can talk and say anything. I think we all really click on the mentality of dominate humbly. They get the job done, but they don't always have to tell you about it. They kind of let their actions speak, walking the walk more than you talk the talk. But if you need to, you can kind of talk the talk as well. So to be able to support a brand like that I've already felt so comfortable with, that I've made lifelong relationships with the people creating the branding, the content, the gym, the products itself, is really cool. And I'm in a pretty lucky position.
Thank you.